I'm going to tell you a story you may find rather disturbing. It began one summer's evening when a friend of mine invited me to go for a drive. Why not, I said. I love driving. We took a route through the countryside. The air was filled with the sweet smell of blossom and the sound of birdsong. We drove into the darkness. There was a full moon. I should have known. Eventually, we arrived at what looked like a small town and were greeted by a friend of a friend, Extreme Kid 3. She seemed a bit high-strung, geeky, weird, but friendly enough. Grammar school does funny things to you. They started saying stuff like, "We know why you have come and do you want to join us?" Join what? I thought. I was starting to get a bit freaked out. Then, all of a sudden, Extreme Kid's head started spinning on her shoulders. I wanted to run. I wanted to hide. But strangely, it was compelling. I had to watch. You don't see stuff like this every day. And then to my shock and amazement, my friend's head also started spinning. If that wasn't bad enough, the Irish dancing began. Anyone in their right mind would have turned and run away. I was visibly shaken, but they said they had just the thing to cheer me up. They led me across a field to a fireworks display. It was wonderful, so good, I almost forgot about the river dance. While I was off guard, they led me to a secret doorway, and like a fool, I followed. What was this place? There was graffiti scrawled on the wall. Someone was watching. I fell through what looked like a grave on the floor, and what I saw next made me feel physically sick. What kind of strange, demonic, bitter and twisted, tortured soul could have a face like that? For that matter, what kind of twisted mind would have it on their wallpaper? Extreme Kid beckoned me in. She kept saying she was the leader. The leader of what? I thought. I was then met by another weirdo, Pugefly 3. 3? My God, there are 2 other Pugeflies, I thought. It was then I realised I'd been drawn into a cult. They were hovering and floating around with bat wings, and one of them was wearing a welding mask. What kind of unholy, god-forsaken place was this? There was a strange smell in the air, like Walker's Family Butchers. I should have known they've got a food hygiene rating of 1. They led me into a room with a wall of water. It reminded me of my local curry house, the passage to India. But I soon realised the fountain was not water. It was blood. They told me this was where they bathe in the blood of their victims. I was forced to sit and watch while they threatened me with death. Then they offered me a tour. I was shocked and petrified, so I didn't dare refuse. Like a sacrificial lamb to the slaughter, I followed. I was taken to another room with a campfire in the middle of the floor. That demonic face was everywhere. I wanted to puke. I was told it was a meeting room, and again was forced to sit. Cold shivers ran down my spine as they explained their evil doings. This was the room where they decided who would live and who would die. The names of their victims were displayed on the walls, like trophies. Who was this Drake? Who was this Finn? As my skin began to crawl, I was led out. First, into a hellish room full of lava lamps. And then, into the so-called gallery. That face again. Was this their deity? Their god? One thing was for sure. It was pure evil. I was then taken into another room with a fountain of blood. This, I was told, was the torture chamber. There were all manner of devices for inflicting pain and misery. Down a long dark corridor I was taken. To a disco. You know, things were starting to cheer up. Perhaps this cult wasn't so bad after all. We danced for hours. Well, actually it was about 30 seconds. I was starting to feel at home now. One of the gang. They took me into a maze. It was a lot of fun. Bright and cheerful, utterly confusing. But you know, these cult people aren't so bad. We played hide and seek. And we ran. And we laughed. Oh, what joy. They showed me their rooms. That face again. I assumed the bottle of ketchup was for those midnight chips. Turns out it was actually blood. After a lot of milling around and checking stuff out, I was finally taken into a room with the lava lamps again. Apparently this was the summoning room. You know, this cult, it's really just a bit of fun, isn't it?